Hey, what's going on, InnerQuest family? This is Denzel here, and today we're going to be talking about shortening time frames, okay? This is a super essential topic that everybody needs to understand, so please make sure you're taking notes and remembering this because this is going to be super beneficial. Now, shortening time frames. What are we talking about today? We are talking about learning how to maximize your potential in terms of utilization of your time, right? So what we're going to do for now is we're just going to imagine a timeline, right? Doesn't matter. We'll say it's a 10-year timeline, right? And, it could be anything, right? It could be a money goal. It could be a house goal. It could be a family goal, relationship goal, whatever it might be for you. We can create that timeline, right? Now, if you think about it, most dreams that you have, right? The average timeline that you'll think is, maybe it'll take me 10 years to get there, 20 years to get there. But what if you could get there in a year, 5 years, right? Instead of taking 10, 20, 30, or your whole life to get there, right? That's the point, right? We wouldn't be here today if you didn't think there was a faster way to get somewhere. So what I'm going to break down to you today is how we're going to do that. Now, say this is a 10-year time frame. How do we maximize that first year? And how do we do that and keep compounding it every year and every year to make double, triple, quadruple the amount of progress we thought we were going to make by year 10, right? How do we do that? It's getting pretty simple. So we have person number 1, person number 2, and person number 3, right? Person number 1, that person is putting in effort 365 days a year and is getting 365 times better, right? So person number 1 is 365 days a year that they're putting in the work, and that means they're getting 365 times better, right? Just to keep it simple. Nothing crazy. Person number 2, this person is 1 time per week, right? So 1 time per week, right? And what that means is that if they're only doing once per week, that means they're getting 52 times better, right? So 52 times better over the year. Because remember, we're still focused on year 1, right? So 1 year. So 365 days a year, they're getting 365 times better, right? Person 2, once per week, they're only getting 52 times better. Then you have the people, and we all know them, right? Where once a week, they're working towards the goal, right? So let's use fitness, for example, right? Could you imagine the difference between somebody who works out 365 times a year versus somebody who works out once per week, right? If you're working out once per week, I hate to tell you, but you're not going to get to your goal, right? If you're losing weight, gaining muscle, it's going to be very difficult, probably not going to happen, okay? You're going to have to focus all on nutrition. It's going to suck, right? So want to make sure that in order to get to that goal, right, 1 times per week, 52 times better, it's just, once again, it's not cutting it. But I just want to show you as an example of what a drastic difference that is. Now, person number 3, this person only tries to get better once per month, okay? So 1 time per month is the last person. And once again, those people exist too. They just, they have a hot streak. They're like, oh, hot streak. Yeah, I'm doing good. And then completely fall off. Life derails. Okay, let's try it. Life completely derails, falls off, right? So what we're going to talk about, right, is 1 times per month. What does that look like? That's 12 times better in the year. Now, if we're taking this and we're breaking this down, there's a couple crazy things here, okay? If we're looking at this in comparison, 1 times per week for 52 weeks, right? We're talking hopefully about 7 years of a difference here between these people, right? So think about that. 7 years. 7 years. Could you imagine if you just made this quick switch from 3 to 365 from 52, and then you literally just saved 7 years of your life? What would you pay to have 7 more years of your life, right? That is a big deal, and this needs to be something that you absolutely remember, right? 7 years. It's crazy. And then last but not least, you got the people down here, which is 1 times per month. Compared to the 365 person, this is closer to about almost 30 years, right? So I'll put 30 years down for this one. Okay, so if we're doing that, I mean, it already tells you this is it's gonna take your entire life to get to where you want to be, most likely, if you even get there. This is going to take a good chunk of change, 20 to 30 years probably, by the time you get to there, maybe 7 years in terms of the 365 person. And then 365 person, hey, if you do this, you're absolutely crushing, you're winning the game, right? And once again, there's nothing wrong with this necessarily, but it depends on how fast you want to get there. And I'm sure you probably want to save 7 years off your life, if not more time. So we're always shooting for better. So 365. Now, you're probably asking yourself, right? Well, what does that look like in days, right? What does the day look like? How do I have to organize my day to get to that level? You're going to laugh when I tell you this, but all you have to do, right, if there's 24 hours in a day, you only need 1 hour every day, right? Just 1 hour of development, 1 hour, right? 1 hour out of those 24 hours every day, right? That's less than 5% of your day, right? If you can dedicate at least 1 hour a day, every single day for 365 days for something that you want, the odds that you get it are extremely high, right? So remember, you are the top 1%. If you're in this top 1%, you're committed, you're crushing it. And I want all of you to be able to do that. And all of you know, I know all of you can do that. Okay. So that's what I want to talk about today, is just shortening timelines. It's pretty simple, but remember, it's a compound effect. The more consistent you are, the more year by year, the more consistent you are, you're saving years of time. Right? You want to save that time to do all the things that you love to do, right? And I want to make sure you have that. So leave you with that today. Quick session. Go ahead, lock it in. And remember, let's make sure we're getting that 1 hour of work in towards that ultimate goal. Go crush it.